Happy has been playing TC last week already. This is his go-to strategy. Tier 1 Expo. For how long are orcs yelling, "We need to be able to Expo"? Well, Happy shows the way. He's not attacking. He just does TC mass grunts. But the pure, it's indeed brute strength. He's just charging forward with a gigantic brain to show orcs the way. The simple solutions are sometimes the best. Just expand. Just build 18 grunts. 20 grunts. This is how Orc was meant to be played. 23 upgraded grunts with level 3 endurance aura. This is incredible. The Blood Mage is dead and so is Lemes. This is peak Warcraft.
There's one thing that everyone who plays a competitive game loves. To see the meta change. Or, to be fair, to just see the meta disrupted. To see someone take a shot at adding something new to this competitive dynamic, right? When it comes to Warcraft 3 and other games that are like 20 plus years old, it can be a hard, grueling, and sometimes very pessimistic path trying to change the meta. First, it started with some paladin buffs, right? They increased the paladin's movement speed. They increased the armor by devotion aura, just all sorts of little quality of life things over time. And you know, over time, people started realizing the paladin's not actually a bad hero. In fact, you can go paladin first with a bunch of riflemen, and your orc opponent has very little to do with your normal farseer. It's been a mess. And as an orc player myself, someone who absolutely loves orc, and I've been playing orc ever since I was a teenager, it's been a little depressing to go up against human online, right? These paladin rifle players, it's like they're playing a different game. No, really. Part of why the paladin rifle strategy is so powerful is because it's simple. You create riflemen at the start of the game, and you do not stop making riflemen. You proceed to level up your paladin, and at tier 2, you build a blood mage.
You can only do that as long as there's no blood mage, and that guy is about to show up. And there we go, we got the siphon. Lots of mana.
You can upgrade your riflemen's the range, you can probably get some decent items on your paladin, and now, well, the domination occurs. You simply push into the orc opponent, and they really can't do much. You see, when the human player has amassed a certain number of riflemen, paladin becomes a very tricky hero to deal with. Let me kind of explain the situation.
And a couple of riflemen, 5 or 6, and now the strat is operational. And now it's very, very hard to beat.
You're trying to face your pally rifle opponent in open combat. You get some attacks on a rifleman. They move the rifleman back. All the while, the other riflemen are sniping down your units. Just when you think you're going to get one unit killed, oh, it was healed by Holy Light. That's a very low mana spell that heals a redonkulous amount of HP. Okay, that's fine. I'm still in a good position though. My units are attacking his rifleman with medium armor, and I'm orc. Most of my units are melee, so I get a type advantage. Should be good, right? Nope, wrong again. You see, the paladin's devotion aura has made the riflemen now akin to mountain giants. These riflemen aren't really taking much damage. Oh, and maybe you have Farseer and Tauren Chieftain, and you have your powerful Chain Lightning and Shockwave. Nope, the Blood Mage has been draining your mana throughout the entire fight, and every time you use a spell, well, the human opponent has a very easy answer to that. You just heal scroll, or, you know, maybe you get some priest. It's not actually that much of a threat. All the human opponent has to do is banish when a unit gets low, continue. They will outgun you. Pun intended. So most orc players, when facing this strategy, they've created some rules, me included, right? Rule number 1 against poly rifles, you're usually not supposed to fight them. It's so hard to do.
He lost 1 rifle, that's all. The pally rifle is unbeatable in a fight, it seems.
Rule number 2, don't give him mana, right? Because then you just can't kill anything, because the paladin is constantly healing things. And rule number 3, you gotta play lame. You gotta get the Tauren Chieftain Endurance Aura, because movement speed's your friend. The one weakness the Paladin Rifle has is the movement speed of the army, relatively slow, right? And here is where, well, Happy. What a god, right? As an Orc player, I love to see it. And you better believe I tried this strategy immediately after I saw it. It was a great game. I was against a Night Elf opponent, screw it, I still wanted to try the strategy. And there's a couple things I've learned, and I plan on playing more of the strategy, but there's reasons why I think this is so effective against Paladin Rifle. Number 1, the Paladin Rifle player is unconcerned with the Orc in the early stage of the game. In most cases, actually, the Paladin Rifle player is expecting a Farseer, Headhunters, and what they want to do is creep. This means Happy's TC Grunt fast expansion. I mean, it's very hard to actually stop from the human perspective when they go Paladin Rifles. Because say, for example, the Paladin player does go down and they see the expansion. Well, at this point, you have about 4 grunts, right? And the Paladin player doesn't have long rifles yet. You don't have the Blood Mage yet. Meanwhile, their Tauren Chieftain, well, you've already crept the expansion, so you're level 2. And Happy in this replay got level 3 quite good, quite fast. And you see level 2 Shockwave is enough deterrent to not have the human, I think, able to cancel your expansion. And here's, I think, the part that's really cool as well. Because you're going just grunts, all of your lumber is good for upgrades, right? You get that easy Berserker Strength upgrade. You get 3/3 upgrades. You can really start spending wood on the expensive 2 upgrades, right? The rank 2 upgrades a lot, but man, they really soar on grunts. When you get 3/3 grunts, they do essentially as much damage as a tier 3 bear. So if you think about it in that way, these are like units that take full advantage of the TC's Endurance Aura. Level 3 Endurance Aura. So the fact that Happy only goes 1 hero is very cool, because that means the Blood Mage has very little targets for Siphon Mana. And because you're just shockwaving on cooldown and you have Endurance Aura, you're probably going to be all the time. And you always just have grunts, so it's not like you have any. You're not even messing with Shaman or Witch Doctors, so the Blood Mage can't get any mana. Just can't get any mana. And like, I mean, just watch the game. Watch some of this footage. Level 3 Endurance Aura and 3/3 grunts. I mean, you might as well be controlling Frenzy Ghouls. Look at the way Happy just moves past the enemy army, that just moves inside, and because the moment the grunts get positioned, you just attack, move, and all hell breaks loose. Like, Happy has really inspired me for 2 things, right? Because humans, they kept winning and they continue to win with Paladin Rifle because the strategy is inherently simple. It allows you to play efficiently because you're just building rifles all day. The micro is pretty straightforward. And some say that this was Happy's free-for-all strategy, that a lot of Orc players, when they're playing free-for-all, they go this strategy. Solo TC, Mass Endurance Aura. But it's really because Endurance Aura, like, I don't think it can be understated how powerful attack speed is when you get upgraded attack. And I think that it's almost like a mathematical win when you have that many grunts and they're upgraded to that tier 3 status. Then 200 gold's a really good bargain for that unit. Like, 200 gold's a really good bargain for an 800 HP 3/3 Berserker Strength Grunt. That moves super fast with Endurance Aura. Like, you're okay that your TC has no mana. He's just an unkillable aura. Now, I will say on this map, there was the Fountain of Health. That was another reason why this worked so well. And, you know, grunts, orcs benefit greatly from the Fountain of Health because they have high HP units. But, you know, really, I love this strategy by Happy. I hope to see more of it. And I just hope to see more, I don't know, experimentation with Warcraft 3 strategies that are in full awareness of how much better players are. Like, do you know what I mean? That TC Mass Grunt strategy appears noob, but it's not, because it's almost a precision strike decision to only focus on the weakness of Paladin Rifle. And the biggest weaknesses from this game, and if you think about it conceptually, is like, they really can't stop a blisteringly fast expansion, right? Because they don't have footmen. Huge. Grunts are better than riflemen, like in the one-on-one. So when you make enough grunts to overwhelm the paladin's ability to support the riflemen, you are indeed just having type advantage, which is big. I really like how it punishes any poor mistake on the Paladin rifle micro. Like, because you have such a powerful type advantage and you have so many grunts, even the, 2 seconds of miss micro on a rifleman is like 4 big axe cleaves of a 3/3 grunt on medium armor. It's doing like, 40 to 50 damage or something. And it's just the Paladin can't, I mean, the armor is helping, but that one-on-one healing really is pushed to its limit. So, obviously I'm obsessed with this strat. I'm going to keep playing it. Some of the weaknesses of this strat, obviously if the expansion gets scouted, you could be on the back foot. I think if the human gets sorceress faster, I think if the Pally rifle player actually cuts back on the rifles in the early game, focuses on getting faster sorceress, and then still creeps decently fast because you're using militia instead of the rifleman, I feel like it does better versus this because you have slow faster and slow. See, here's the thing, you can't lose grunts in the early game when you're playing the strategy. So the faster you get slow, the more you ensure you lose some grunts. I would even get Muddy, the mud golem. Well, anyways, guys, this was my thoughts on this build. I absolutely love it. And hey, thanks for stopping by. I just want to give everyone a shout out. Our last video about if Tyler 1 could beat Grubby in a Warcraft 3, obviously he cannot. But you all seem to really like that video, so thank you. I really enjoy making these videos, so I'm really going to try to stick with it. Yeah, if you like the video, follow. If you like it, subscribe, right? Give us a like. Leave a comment. All those good things. See ya. Bye.